All right, so today we are going to talk with Joeri. Joeri is a great example of how is someone eligible to work on your own clients and working full time for our agency, being so much busy with all the work, all new tools, and like these kinds of things. But I really want um, ask you about like what made you reach out to me when you first reach out.
The main reason is because I've been playing for a while in my head of going fully freelance, and over the years I've been building up my portfolio, and I felt last year actually that it was nearly time for me, but I didn't really dare to take the step. And now that it came to the new year again, and I started to think again about maybe I should have actually taken that step, and I had the same opportunity at the same time to grow in my career with the agency. And when I was at that crossroads, you actually came popped up on my LinkedIn again at the right time. And when talking to my friends, I basically joined one of your open calls where and followed what you said. And you said a lot of the right things that made me think, yeah, if I don't do it myself now, no one's going to make the decision for me. So I can keep working the same way forever. Um, so I finally made the decision. But I did think that having someone with a bit of a process who can help me guide through those first stages of freelancing as an SEO, that would be very helpful for me. So
Nice and welcome. And what is the biggest change you have noticed since working with me, like in your own freelancing journey?
um, I think commercial thinking, thinking differently about how I position myself, because I would always normally position myself from a technical standpoint and talking about tech SEO and difficult things to understand because I find them very interesting, bits of research, but that's not really why people buy services. Like it's really nice that you know that, but yeah, it was always interesting to other SEOs basically. So it's that repositioning myself that has been really important, I think.
Nice. Yeah, because 99 of the SEOs on the market and on LinkedIn, they are constantly sharing their technical knowledge, SEO terms, like, but once you are freelancing and like if you want to get high paying SEO clients, that approach in acquiring clients are totally like different. So, like we need to combine SEO language with the business terms, like what business owners want. And that is like the biggest trap where SEOs are like going down, and then like you're not getting like new high paying SEO clients, and then they are thinking like LinkedIn is working, but like you are working when you are doing the right approach. Okay, so but have you been doing now that you haven't been doing before?
Mm, Mainly working on myself, I think I was able to free up more time that I thought I didn't have. Um, but by actually looking at what I need as a business, I've been able to actually find the time to really work on that. And I think mainly things that I'm doing now is indeed my LinkedIn newsletter wasn't there before. So I actually have that. I started creating a webinar because you actually advised to do it. And it's these things that make me write down my processes and the way I would like to sell my services. So that's all taking shape now, where before I only had everything in my head. And processes, yes, but the processes are like, of course, a bit boring. So it's making sure that all of that gets translated into a nice format. And something that I'm maybe mentally doing is I find myself feeling much more positive. So every time I have a doubt in my head, um, I you have actually helped me overcome some of those doubts, and the voice in my head now is more like, yes, you can do this. Nobody said you can't. So um, that I'm doing on a daily basis actually, like much better.
Yeah, and what you like about you, and like since day one, like you are focused on the actions, like you are watching the course, you are providing the actions, you are asking for a feedback, you are asking me, like sending me emails, and like you are so engaged. And the just like progress that you have been like doing in the last like almost like few weeks, months, like it's so much bigger because you are constantly focused on like, okay, this is like what I'm doing, what is next thing, like what do you think? Like even like when you are stuck, then like we are working on that and then like you're ready to go to the next step. And that is kind of like I don't like when people are thinking that like mindset coaching is about like positive thinking or something like that, but it's about like practicing our mind to first focus on the things that like we can do, and then or the things that like we can't do, ask for a question, get the feedback, get the kind of like clarity, direction, how you're doing, and then like moving forward. And in the end of the day, like what we are doing unconsciously, we are starting to believe that like this is something that we can do because we had roadmap, we have strategy, we have experience, we have other SEO freelancers on the calls, we are learning from each other, like so you're not learning just like from me, you are also learning other case studies, how we are putting like new SEO proposals, how we are negotiate some new interesting like SEO packages, how to win SEO deals, and it's just like learning is much more faster for everyone. So do you believe that like this is much more possible, like like finding real high-paying SEO clients instead of just like versus when we were just like dreaming maybe one day I will be able to get it?
Yes, yes, I do. I can now kind of see who the potential clients would be. I think that that's something that I didn't really see before because I didn't really know where I would niche down or anything like that. And you've helped me with that. So now that I actually understand who I'm going after, I also start spotting the types of businesses that are actually active on LinkedIn. So of course, the next step is for them to start reaching out, but for that, I'm quite early stages. But yeah, it's clear that what you said indeed is those people are on LinkedIn and they are browsing. So it is indeed, if we are not present there, it's going to be very difficult for them to find us. So it's really the place to be, more so than generally in Google with our own website or anything, which would be much harder to get any traction from. So
And there
yeah.
is so many different opportunities on the LinkedIn itself, how you can reach in the terms that like okay we are not going to do like DMs and like reaching out to people, but actually being visible in front of right business owners and like clients that like want to get like what we can offer in the terms of expertise, and not just like with a LinkedIn post, like we can do different like LinkedIn newsletters, like LinkedIn branding when it comes to webinars, Q&As, LinkedIn lives. So many other opportunities are coming in. Also like some old clients are seeing that like we are doing this kind of like value that we can give to the world, and like so many opportunities can come once we are really starting, like in the right direction.
Mhm.
So,
Indeed.
since a lot of people haven't been working with the SEO, like mindset coaches, usually like they are more familiar with the SEO mentors when they are learning just like technical skills. Did anything surprised you in a positive or negative way when you start working with me?
In the negative way, no. I haven't spotted anything. In positive way, yes, because I really didn't know what to expect in the beginning. So um, while it's not entirely new to me to be freelance, because I've done freelance jobs before, it was almost always via an agent or an agency who would have a contract and then pass part of the work on to me, which is easy now that it comes to me finding my own clients, which also means I keep more of the money. I think the biggest surprise to me was that positioning and how I set myself up can actually mean that I can be more valuable to businesses than I would normally have believed from an agency point of view. I would easily have fallen into the trap of charging an hourly rate, the same as you would normally be paid as an employee. And I know that a lot of businesses also, I mean, they would be very happy with that generally if you would just charge an employee rate because it's super cheap, but you'd never be able to provide the value. So I think understanding that and learning how to kind of believe in it as well has really helped. So that was a positive surprise in that sense. I would have normally never taken the right steps, or I would have done it all wrong for sure.
Yeah, because usually like these kinds of things like we are not learning in the school, like we are learning some from the SEO courses, but this is not something that like where we can learn, like about SEO pricing, SEO offering, packaging, like and SEOs are thinking the only way or packaging is just like, okay, I will do the hourly rate and like that's it. But depending on the project, depending on the collaboration, like we can come up with so many creative packages that will be good for the client itself, and then also that we can kind of like charge value based, which where the prices are going between like 1,500 to 2,000, because we can come up with some creative solution, including first SEO audit, like implementing this, and then like ongoing support. Like there are so many different options how we can do packaging. It's like we did some on the examples. We basically just like made that up what would be what was good for that project. But like people are constantly thinking, oh, it's most easiest. I will go hourly rate, and then like I will just like sell my time for the specific hourly rate. Which is like decent for some periods, but when we really want to go premium freelancing, where we want to achieve more freedom and more time in the future, having less clients and having more time, then the hourly rate doesn't make sense, because it will always be, like about hourly rate, and people, as actually business owners, are not seeing your value. They're just seeing like you as a hourly rate. They don't see the value and the amount of value that you are bringing to the company.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay, so one thing that was, yeah, I didn't ask you, like, what were you afraid of the beginning before you start working with me? Like any kind of like concerns, like what you were thinking, what can go wrong?
Ah, that's a really good question, actually. I always have been skeptical, and I think this is the first time that I really step into a program like this, because there is a lot of people online who indeed do sorts of like business coaching or scale your business kind of things, and a lot of it always scared me off because people are super salesy, pushy, to the point that it just annoys me. And I don't trust them because when somebody comes across really salesy, I instantly lose my trust because I think that they have more to gain than I, and that it's going to be a bit scammy. Um, None of that is the case with you at all. So it was immediately clear from that first free call that, oh, there's actually a session as if I'm already part of the program. Like I felt like I was already there, but for free. And there was immediate value. And I think because this is really feels like a one-on-one coaching with the group coaching, but you are actually have time for me and for everyone else, and you're really doing everything you can to give good feedback. And it's it feels really personal, and I think that's great and honest. So completely different from anything that I would have expected. Um, Going into it. So yeah, that those worries I of course always had, but then that's turned out to be a really positive experience. So.
Yeah, and that's actually my goal, like for everyone, and also like customize a course for like anyone like who wants to learn something else that is not currently on the course. I'm constantly like recording the new lessons, and like my main goal is to teach people like how I'm selling, but I'm not selling because I'm really not selling. I don't care about just like people joining the program, because as you can see, like all the people are just like a good fit, like, and we are so similar to each other. And this year, I think for a few people, I didn't say like yes, even like they were interested in the program, because they wouldn't fit a group personality, like for any kind of reasons. And I think that is like what people are really feeling, that like that call is really a fit check for each other. Like if you are a good fit for the program, and also if you are a good fit for me, in the same way that like if I'm good fit for you, and like these kinds of things. And I think because that's my like only intention on that call, like people are just like seeing like, hey, I'm not selling, because my goal is not to sell. My higher goal is to really check if the person will sue the group, will really achieve the success with the program, and like, you know, like if I really enjoy like working with these people. So I think that's kind of like, that is like why it's so different from the others, because others just want to sell it for any kind of reason. But like, not for me, it's better like less money but better fit for the group, because I know that like people will come, and I'm just like starting with this group coaching, so I know, you know, like what is really most important for my mental state, not just like some assholes joining and like behaving in some way. Okay, Yuri, so I know it's Friday, it's busy, so thank you so much for your time and energy for this, and I will see you next Wednesday.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.